Because the world loves Keanu Reeves and the internet obsessively loves Keanu Reeves for some reason, on the 1st of September, a brand new graphic novel called Berserker, spelled out as if it was done on a Nokia 3210, found its way onto Kickstarter. Yes, the comic, in all fairness, looks rather nice, very well drawn according to Keanu itself, it's got a great story, and honestly there's no reason not to get this if it looks up your street. However, there is some controversy surrounding it, simply because nobody honestly knows why it's on Kickstarter in the first place. It needed 50k, which it obviously smashed, getting closer to $1.5 million, and Boom Studios, the publishers, are obviously, as you would expect, not exactly small, and I've read in several places that the comic book is actually already finished. This campaign was literally used as a pre-order page and nothing more. And because of this, in the eyes of indie comic book artists around the world, this campaign is not needed and it's taking money away from the little guy. For me, I don't agree. For someone that doesn't normally look in the comic book section on Kickstarter, you know what I did when I found this project? I went and looked at what else was available, and I found quite a lot of comic books and graphic novels that are a lot more up my street over Berserker. Florida Man is raising money again on Kickstarter, which I have recommended in the past. Killtopia, a cyberpunk-themed Tokyo battleground, is asking for money for its third issue and looks absolutely stunning. Black Eyed Books are putting out their excellent-looking retro-styled horror stories that are in no way aimed at children, called Dwellings, and Early Haunts is a selection of folklore horror tales recreated in comic book form. Look, all I'm saying is, need it or not, my guess is that this book, for someone like me who has a passing interest in graphic novels and comic books, will result in more campaigns getting at least a glance from a wider audience. So don't hate the competition, guys, use it to your advantage. On September 8th, the Zombies Ate My Neighbors inspired game called Demons Ate My Neighbors, damn, very good, found its way onto Kickstarter, and sadly, it's not doing too well. Honestly, the game itself actually looks really good. The problem, however, is that it's simply not going to be hitting its target. On September 12th, it was announced that the team was going to be cancelling the Kickstarter and starting up a new one, claiming that it had learned a lot during its campaign life and that it was completely overshadowed by other gaming news that had popped up at the beginning of its life. This is definitely true, as looking at the Kicktrack chart for this Kickstarter, which is still active for some reason, the amount of new backers jumping on the project have gone down into the single digits, and on some days it's even worse than that. What's my opinion on all of this? Well, honestly, I just don't think enough people want to fund this sort of thing right now. Yes, the PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and Amico, let's not forget the underdog here guys, are the incredibly expensive systems that have ripped apart most gamers' wallets, mine included. Having a new zombies game would be nice, but right now it's just not the time to appeal to the retro gamer, and honestly, I don't know how they can come back from this. Perhaps getting some outside funding is the way to go with this one. Perhaps pushing it onto these new systems is what should be the next big selling point when relaunching, and perhaps having key team members not leave your project during its attempt to raise funds is something you want to be trying to avoid next time. Look, I really want this game to happen. I love me some Zombies Ate My Neighbors, but did I back it? No. My gaming budget has blown itself out of the window over the last month with the pre-order of the PlayStation 5, and therefore, sadly, I just can't justify this purchase. And if my Discord army is true, the damn Kickstarter is actually planning to relaunch in only a couple of weeks, which, if true, basically means it's going to be finishing or possibly even still active during the actual launch of the next generation of systems. An even crappier time to try and get an indie video game kickstarted. And throughout the month of September, Asobi Kwang DX, good friend of the channel, actually started crowdfunding his very own Game Boy game. This is not sponsored or anything like that, it's just me helping out an old friend. So guys, if you want to be getting yourself Super JETPAK DX, a brand new Game Boy game for yourself, be in for a chance to win a custom Game Boy, and of course all pre-orders actually get the chance to have their name in the opening credits, then click the link below to grab yourself a copy free right now, as a ROM or a full cartridge with a case and manual, which is obviously the version I'm going for. Make sure you do it quickly, guys, because you've only got about a week before this pre-order ends, possibly for good. Hey there guys, this is DJ Slope from Slope's Game Room, and this is Kickstammer news for the month of September 2020. Yes, this is my monthly roundup news show where I look at everything good, bad and ugly from places like Kickstarter, Indiegogo and GoFundMe. And even though there are fewer things to talk about this month, obviously with the launch of the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X right around the corner, there is still some good things to talk about, which I'm sure will split my audience right down the middle. So let's get into it right after this. Yes guys, this video is sponsored by Wondershare once again. I've spoken about this company's awesome Filmora 9 video editing suite in the past, but today I plan to chat about their DemoCreator software, which I have used in this very video by the way, and it's heavily sped up the process of this and all future Kickstammer videos. So what is it? Well, simply Wondershare DemoCreator is the ultimate on-screen recording software that is not only easy to use but super fast and helpful for creating videos like these. Perhaps you're looking for the best solution to your online tutorials, perhaps you want to record a presentation and only record what you need by resizing the recorded area. Game capture is also a thing with this. You can of course record your camera with a green screen if you so desire. And when it's all done, you can quickly boot up Wondershare's video editing suite, which will have all of your newly recorded clips available to you straight away. No fuss. No need for 15 different programs. This is quite simply the fastest and easiest way to do all of this. And best of all, that editing software is far from stripped back. You can add snazzy animations, transitions, text, zoom in, add stickers, captions, or whatever you want by simply just grabbing it and dropping it. As you may have already seen down below in the description, you can download this software for free, and as this is something I know my followers are going to lap up just like they have done before, please also leave a comment and share your ideas on how you plan to use Wondershare's awesome DemoCreator. On September 11th, a brand new GoFundMe opened up to actually pay for a new FearFactory album. Which is odd, right? Because GoFundMe isn't exactly used for this sort of stuff. That's more of a Kickstarter, Indiegogo kind of thing. Well, this one gets even weirder. So for those that don't know, FearFactory are a very popular within metal circles heavy metal band. Back in 2018, they announced that a new album was finished and sent off to the label, and after a few legal technical things, it would be released the following year. But what they didn't tell you was that the legal technical thing was actually a fight between former and current band members about who owned the FearFactory name. And what nobody expected was the fact that this battle would go on until 2020. Still, according to this campaign, that battle is over, and now they just need a little bit more money to finish the album. It's only 25k, and as of right now, they're less than $2,000 away from that target. The funny thing is that the lead singer went onto social media mere hours after this campaign went live with the following statement. "Let me be clear, I am not part of nor am I benefiting from any GoFundMe campaign." And responding to this, Dino, another member, also replied, "He sang on the record, he's finished his parts, the donation is for live drums, mixing and mastering, plus keyboards. The production team and performers need to get paid for their work. Burton definitely benefits from a great sounding record." And also guys, just to add this, there are also reports that the album, again, was finished with artwork back in 2017, and that this campaign is just here to cover the legal bills that have built up due to the fighting of the FearFactory name. Who is in the right here? Honestly, I don't know. I don't know enough about FearFactory or follow that band enough to give a really good honest opinion. Just for me, the most interesting part about all of this is that a band would have such a massive argument on the lead up to a new album on places like GoFundMe. It's very, very bizarre. FearFactory fans, beware. So here's some bad news for Descent fans. A new video showcasing the game actually looks really good and makes me want to get involved. However, in the latest update it explains that even though the heavily delayed game is just about finished, the team is now in serious legal battles with the publisher Little Orbit. And yes, if that name rings a bell, Little Orbit are the same Little Orbit behind Unsung Story, that Kickstarter that I covered a long time ago, and I did have another look. The game is still not out. Regardless, Descent Underground is close to being released according to the creators, and after a crazy amount of delays, backers have now got to deal with all of this before they get to play it. Oh yeah, also due to it taking so long, the license to use the Descent name has actually expired, so once all of the legal stuff is sorted, they then gotta reach out to Interplay again to try and get the license again, otherwise they're gonna have to use a name like Ships That Fight Underground or something. Oh no, that is what they put in the update. It sucks, because as stated, the game looks awesome. Let's just hope we actually get to play it sooner rather than later. On the 17th of September, a brand new Kickstarter emerged to help all those people that are going to be losing access to TikTok, or possibly losing access to TikTok, with their campaign Click Clack. Let's get clicking. I don't need to tell you guys that this is simply terrible. Nothing here shows what is actually going to be on offer. And of course the campaign was cancelled, suspiciously after 10k was pledged by just one backer, and then mysteriously taken away again. Surprisingly, this campaign actually popped up twice to get funded, and unsurprisingly, it failed both times. The Warrior 64 is a plug-and-play Nintendo 64 that offers you guys 720p right out of the box so it can work on all of these new HDMI-esque televisions. So should you back it? You see, the problem with this is that the company isn't exactly answering the questions needed to completely please all of the backers. It's still very likely that this will get funded because, of course, it's Nintendo 64, and for some reason people absolutely love that system. But for anyone in the know, this is an incredibly hard console to pump out good quality HDMI signals from. Now, don't get me wrong, decent HDMI solutions are available, with a soldering onto the main board being one of the most expensive and best solutions out there. So the big question is, where is this new Warrior 64 actually pulling its outputted video signal from? And the answer is it's doing it via RGB. Now this was answered after the N64 subreddit managed to pull together and suss out the internals, meaning that although this is not the absolute best you're going to be getting, it is still a really good solution at a price that's cheaper than your standard RGB external signal hack. So again, should you get it? It's still a risk. It baffles me that a campaign dedicated to helping a very niche group of individuals did not come prepared to answer what I think are pretty standard and important questions that a group like this were obviously going to ask. Not only about the video signal, but what about the lag? Apparently the campaign owners haven't got the tools to test that. No comparisons with other third-party HDMI hacks, and no real in-depth look at what you are actually going to be getting here. Is this all just to cover up a scam, or just unforeseen issues that the owner wasn't expecting? If you ask me, who cares? Because even if this was a console I actually did care about, like, I don't know, the Sega Saturn, it would still fill me with enough doubt to not want to back it. They say that these things will be available via eBay and Amazon, albeit at a higher cost, of course, and for me, I would just much rather wait for those to be released, if they ever do, because one thing that my Discord members did spot was that the name of the company was Intech. Now, even though that is a pretty generic company name, there's no getting around the fact that it's also the name of another company that put out one of the worst Wii clone consoles ever made. Yeah, I think I'm gonna hold off on this one, guys, just in case. September 24th was the day that the Hits the Fan YouTube channel Kickstarter got launched, asking for $1,600 to get equipment needed to help Brody Stott's YouTube channel of the same name, a channel dedicated to throwing things at a ceiling fan. So what actually happens when you chuck something at a ceiling fan? not a lot. Time to move on. On September 28th, we finally get to see new Atari VCS production pictures, and it finally looks like the $250 system that also requires a $60 controller will finally be getting out to backers only slightly later than the release of, say, I don't know, the Xbox Series S, which, well, considering that comes with a controller, actually works out $10 cheaper than the Atari VCS. Decisions. Toejam Earl's Funky Fresh Foods of Funkatron is a new cookbook based in the world of Toejam Earl, and I have absolutely no idea why this exists. But it does. Honestly, I don't see the connection here. I mean, all the recipes are wacky and fun, and to be fair, a lot of them sound really nice, like the Mama Flo's Earl Grey cookies. But again, I really don't see much of a connection. Regardless, it's doing well enough to get funded. It does look really nice, to be fair, and overly 90s. And yes, they eat random things in the game, but really, that's all this book is really holding on to. Regardless, I do at least reckon you should check this campaign out. The layout of both the book and the pages are brilliantly themed, and if this is up your street, then I suggest giving it a go. And finally, for my recommendation of the month, beside Asobi Kwang's awesome Super JETPAK DX, I'm going to be giving a shout out to COVID Chaos.
Hello, I'm Safari. I'm Amari. I'm Zara. And this is Tomato Frog Games. This is our first game called COVID Chaos. Why COVID Chaos, you may ask? Because we're literally in a pandemic.
In this game, you'll be able to fly ships all around the map, where you'll try your best to save as many people as you possibly can from the COVID virus in each wave.
Obviously not. I'm going to suggest Fantastic Factories instead. This is actually an expansion of a very successful, mostly card-based tabletop game which involves you trying to build the best and most efficient factory that you can. And with this expansion you can obviously not only get the original but 2 different expansions too. The company is well respected, and of course the original game has some incredible awards behind it in the board game community. Well worth checking out if you're a fan of these kind of things, which I definitely am. And there you have it, guys. That's my roundup for the month of September 2020. Like I said, it is slightly shorter than normal, but hey, that's just the way it goes. I can only give you guys what is available to me on these websites. Still, thank you all so much for watching. If you want to check out all of the exclusive episodes that you're seeing on the screen right here, then please do consider becoming a Patreon or YouTube member, with a new exclusive episode going up within the next week based on Kickstarter and Indiegogo games that take inspiration a little bit too far. As usual, I want to give a massive shout out over to my Discord community, especially the Kick Scammer Detective Agency, and another shout out goes out to the Shitty Kickstarters subreddit. Thank you all for watching. This is DJ Slope signing out, and hopefully I'll see you all next time.